When we talk about the American 1%, what picture comes to mind? We might imagine sprawling mansions, private jets, yachts sailing in azure waters. But that is just the surface. The real story isn't just about what they own, it's about how they own it. The wealthiest Americans, that top sliver of the population, control a staggering portion of the nation's assets. This isn't just cash sitting in a bank account. Investments, real estate, businesses, art. Their financial lives are more like large corporations than personal checkbooks. They think differently about money because they have to. Their scale of wealth is simply on another level. The sheer magnitude of this wealth creates a unique set of challenges. For most people, a savings account, a 401k, but for the 1%, that is just the beginning. Their assets are not just numbers on a statement, they represent generations of work, innovation, risk-taking. Protecting this wealth is not an act of greed, it is an act of preservation. They are not just managing money for themselves, they are often stewards of a legacy they intend to pass down through their family for decades, or even centuries to come. This long-term perspective changes everything. It shifts the focus from short-term gains to enduring stability and structure. Consider this. The total wealth of the top 1% in the United States is measured in the tens of trillions of dollars. This is a figure so vast it can be difficult to comprehend. It is more than the annual economic output of many countries. Managing such a sum requires a level of sophistication that goes far beyond typical financial advice. These individuals and families are not just participants in the economy. In many ways, they are economies unto themselves. They employ teams of experts, lawyers, accountants, investment managers. Their goal is not just to get richer, but to build a financial fortress that can withstand any storm. This brings us to the core secret. The wealthiest people in America don't just have assets, they structure them. They build walls and moats around their wealth, not to hide it, but to protect it from the predictable and unpredictable threats of the world. Lawsuits, economic downturns, taxes, family disputes. The strategies they use are not hidden in some secret book. They are well-established legal and financial tools, trusts and LLCs labeled on blueprints or documents. The difference is that the 1% uses them with a discipline and scale that most people never consider. Understanding these structures is the first step in understanding how true wealth is preserved. Why do the wealthy go to such great lengths to structure their assets? The answer is simple: risk. The world is full of potential financial threats, and for the wealthy, these threats are magnified. A minor car accident, a business dispute, a frivolous lawsuit can quickly escalate into a multi-million-dollar liability. For the average person, insurance might cover the costs. For a billionaire, a single lawsuit could threaten a significant portion of their life's work if their assets are not properly protected. It's a matter of defense. Think of it like this. If you live in a regular house, a standard lock on the door is usually enough security. But if you live in a palace filled with priceless artifacts, you need more. Reinforced walls, security cameras, a team of guards. The same principle applies to wealth. The more you have, the more you have to lose, and the more sophisticated your defenses need to be. The wealthy understand that personal and business liabilities are distinct. They work tirelessly to ensure that a problem in one area of their life, say a lawsuit against their business, cannot cross over and threaten their personal assets, their home, their children's college funds. This separation is a fundamental concept. Wealthy individuals rarely own valuable assets in their own name. A vacation home, a portfolio of stocks. It is like leaving the keys to the kingdom out in the open. Any creditor or litigant who wins a judgment against you personally could potentially seize those assets. This is why the wealthy operate with a mindset of separation. They create legal barriers between themselves and their assets. These barriers are not illegal or shady. They are prudent, legally recognized structures designed to minimize risk and ensure that their financial foundation remains secure, no matter what happens. Furthermore, the risk is not just external, it can also come from within the family. Wealth can complicate relationships and lead to disputes over inheritance or control. Without a clear and legally sound structure, a family's fortune can be torn apart by internal conflict after the original wealth creator is gone. The Vanderbilt family is a classic example. Cornelius Vanderbilt built a massive fortune in the 19th century, but within a few generations, it was largely dissipated. The family lacked the robust structures needed to preserve the wealth for the long term. The modern 1% has learned from these historical lessons. They plan meticulously for succession. So, what are the tools used to build these financial fortresses? Trusts, limited liability companies or LLCs. These are the foundational building blocks of asset protection for the wealthy. An LLC is a legal business structure that separates the business's liabilities from the owner's personal assets. For example, a wealthy individual might place each of their rental properties into a separate LLC. If a tenant sues because of an issue with one property, the lawsuit is contained. It is only against the assets within that specific LLC, not the owner's other properties or their personal bank account. Trusts are the other essential component. Grantor, the person who creates the trust. Trustee, the third party who controls the assets. Beneficiary, the person who benefits from the trust. Once assets are moved into certain trusts, like an irrevocable trust, they are no longer legally owned by the grantor. This means they are generally shielded from the grantor's future creditors or lawsuits. It's like putting your valuables in a high-security vault that you no longer control the key to, but with instructions for your family. These structures work together like a set of nested boxes. A person might own an LLC. That LLC, in turn, is owned by a trust. For instance, the family home might be in a qualified personal residence trust, a QPRT. Investment portfolios could be held within a series of LLCs, all owned by a larger family trust. Each layer is designed for a specific purpose, minimizing estate taxes, protecting against lawsuits, ensuring a smooth transfer of wealth to the next generation. It is a highly customized and strategic approach to ownership. For the ultra-wealthy, managing this complexity requires a dedicated team. This is where the family office comes in. A family office is a private firm that manages the entire financial and personal life of a wealthy family. It is more than just an investment advisor. Tax planning, estate law, managing properties, coordinating philanthropy. The family office employs the lawyers, accountants, investment professionals. It ensures that all the different pieces of the puzzle are working together seamlessly toward the family's long-term goals. The benefits of these complex structures go far beyond just hiding from lawsuits. They are designed to achieve three primary goals: protection, growth, legacy. Protection, as we've seen, is about building a shield. It's about insulating assets from the unexpected risks of a complex world, by separating business assets from personal assets, placing them into trusts, placing them into LLCs. This ensures a single unfortunate event cannot lead to financial ruin. This provides peace of mind. It allows them to continue taking calculated risks in business and investing, knowing their core wealth is secure. The second goal is growth. These structures are not static vaults. They are dynamic vehicles for growing wealth in a tax-efficient way. Certain types of trusts can allow investment gains to accumulate without immediate capital gains taxes. Assets can be passed to future generations with minimized estate and gift taxes. Estate and gift taxes can be as high as 40%. By legally reducing the tax burden, more of the family's wealth can be reinvested and compounded over time. It's not just about saving what you have, it's about making what you have grow more effectively. This leads to the third and perhaps most important goal: legacy. The wealthiest often think about their impact far beyond their own lifetimes. They want to ensure their children and grandchildren have opportunities and financial security. A well-designed estate plan using trusts can do just that. It can provide for a child's education. It can fund a new business venture for a grandchild. It can support family members with special needs for decades. The trust's instructions can reflect the grantor's values, encouraging responsible stewardship of the wealth and preventing it from being squandered by immature or unprepared heirs. This is how dynasties are built. The structures also facilitate a smooth transition of assets. Without a plan, an inheritance can get tied up in probate court for years, a public and costly process. A trust, however, avoids probate entirely. The transfer of assets can happen privately. The transfer can happen quickly, and according to the precise wishes of the person who created the trust. This ensures continuity, especially for a family business. It means the business can continue to operate without interruption after the founder's death. It is the ultimate form of planning, looking not just years but generations into the future to create a lasting and positive legacy. Now you may be thinking that this all sounds interesting, but it's only for billionaires with sprawling global empires. And while it is true that the scale is different, the underlying principles are not. The core ideas are accessible to many people, not just the 1%. Separating assets, planning for the future using legal tools for protection. You do not need a family office to start thinking like a strategic wealth builder. The lessons from their blueprint can be applied on a much smaller scale with significant benefits. It starts with a shift in mindset from simply earning and spending to owning and protecting. For example, a small business owner can and should use an LLC to separate their business finances from their personal finances. This is a relatively simple and inexpensive step that provides a powerful layer of protection. If the business faces a lawsuit, the owner's personal home and savings are not on the line. Similarly, anyone who owns a home and has some savings should have a will. And for those with more significant assets, a simple living trust can be a smart way to avoid the costs and delays of probate, ensuring that your assets go to your loved ones smoothly and privately. The idea of professional advice is also a key takeaway. You don't need a team of 10 lawyers, but consulting with a qualified financial advisor, consulting with an estate planning attorney. These professionals can help you understand your own financial risks and identify the right tools for your situation. They can help you create a plan that protects what you have built and ensures your family is taken care of. Many people avoid this planning because they think it's too expensive or complicated, but the cost of not planning can be far greater in the long run. Ultimately, the greatest secret of the 1% is not a specific loophole or a magic investment. It is a proactive and disciplined approach to wealth management. They treat their personal finances with the same seriousness as a major corporation. They plan for contingencies, they seek expert advice, and they think about the long-term future. These are habits and strategies that anyone can learn from. Building a financial fortress is not about how much money you have today. It is about building a secure foundation that allows your wealth, no matter its size, to last for years and generations to come.